road to success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.
When you cease to dream, you cease to live. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business.
Thank you for watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. This week, we are honored to have Lillian Oyugi of Yo-Toto Yogurts. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yo-Toto Yogurts, please tell us about that.
Well, Yo-Toto Yogurt was founded by me and my husband as a partner. And the biggest inspiration is our children. We are parents to 4 amazing girls. So yeah, our kids have been the biggest inspiration behind the yogurt business, because I have always wanted to give them healthy food, healthy drinks. And I wanted to give them yogurt, and so I had to figure out a way of making it and without putting any preservatives. And of course, it doesn't come cheap if you have 4 girls. And so I had to learn how to make in order to offer them when and whenever I wanted to give them.
Yeah, and where did you learn how to make yogurt from?
I took a short course on food and beverage production, and that is where I learned to make yogurt. And I've also enhanced my skills through the training at Kirdi, because you may think you know it all until you get to them, and then they also help you how to just make sure that everything is right, and you know, which of course can allow you also to get the standardization from KBC. Yeah. Yes.
And how many varieties of yogurt do you have?
Right now, I'm making the natural yogurt that doesn't have any sugar or any flavors at all. I also make vanilla and strawberry.
Why did you use that name, Yo-Toto? Where did that come from?
My passion really comes from the children, and I really wanted a name that would easily resonate with the children, and that is how Yo-Toto was born.
Yeah. And where do you get your products from?
The milk I source from a vendor that I know would of course give me good milk, and of course the other thing that I need is culture, and we have big suppliers here in Kenya who give me the best culture that will make sure that I make the best yogurt.
What about the capital? Where's your capital from, your startup capital from?
The Somo project, who of course took me through an intense course for about 12 weeks to learn how to formalize my business, proper record keeping, and just basically to be in a position to understand whether it's a business that would go someplace. And so yeah, after that training, they also gave me some grants to allow me buy some of the equipments that I couldn't afford and I needed to kick off the business.
So how has Somo helped you so far?
I would of course give them all the credit where I am right now, because if I'm to walk to any institution right now looking for partnership, looking for funding, I'm able to give them a proper background of my business in terms of also the financials, because they have trained me how to be strict, to manage my records, to keep my records, because that is the only way you can show whether the business is progressing or not. And they've also helped a lot in terms of giving me platforms through their connections, you know, people that ordinarily I would not get a reach to, like, just listen to me, the kind of business idea I have, you know, in my quest to look for partnerships to make sure that my product is out there.
What lessons would you say you have learned?
In as much as you think you know your business, it is always good to involve other people who would be able to see your business from the other side, and of course point out the oversights that you're not able to see, in order to make sure that your business is able to go beyond tomorrow.
What risks would you say you've taken so far in business?
One of them is quitting my full-time job to follow my passion, because I believe if I give it undivided attention, then I would actually realize my dream. Because I'm trying to focus on the business, I'm trying also to be that good employer that I was, but that divided attention was affecting the business, and so I just made the bold decision to focus on the business. So right now, I'm selling my yogurt to schools. I'm also trying to go corporate, and small shops, I'm already there.
Okay.
Lillian, we must take a break, but when we come back, we'd like to know what kind of marketing strategy you have put in your Yo-Toto yogurt after this break.
Equity Group defied challenging operating environment to grow profits after tax by 14% to 18.9 billion shillings, compared to 16.6 billion shillings the previous year. Group CEO Dr. James Mwangi attributed the remarkable improvement to management's decisive actions, strategic direction, and differentiated business model.
Profit after tax increased from 16.6 billion to 18.9 or 19 billion, a growth of 14%. And for that reason, the management and the board commit maintaining the dividend payout as the previous year.
The group weathered the effects of interest rates capping, with non-funded income continuing to be a key differentiator driven by forex income, remittances, commissions, trade finance, agency commission, Amex credit cards, and diaspora remittances.
More importantly for us in the banking industry is the reforms affecting interest capping. And the impression given is that interest capping will have been dealt with by September. That lifting will have significant implication on the banking industry, and hopefully we can go back to the days where the financial sector could make a significant contribution, and hopefully we'll go back to 20-25% growth rate in the private sector lending.
Dr. Mwangi said the bank is reaping the benefits of a strong social brand that focuses on enhancing its relationship with the community through a shared prosperity approach to business.
That we should focus more on shared prosperity, and we looked over business that would have impact in community. And we continue to do better. Almost 1.6 million Kenyans have now been trained on financial literacy. Almost 11,000 kids in our universities, 15,000 wings to fly, and 443 scholars out on our airlift program, all at a cost of $228 million or 23 billion Kenya shillings.
The CEO illustrated how the prediction that the branch will cease to be a banking transactional channel has come to pass.
The bulk of the bank is on digital platforms. The customers are serving themselves on self-service platforms. Third parties have come in, and as we can see, the power of Equitel. We have always said Equitel is not a telecom. Equitel is infrastructure for banking services.
The group's strategy and differentiated business model saw total costs decline by 2% to 38.3 billion shillings from 39.1 billion shillings, reflecting the consolidation of efficiency gains of innovation and digitization of business. Profit before tax grew by 8% to 26.9 billion shillings, up from 24.9 billion shillings previously.
Differentiated leadership The differentiated business model and the differentiated strategy differentiated itself by growth of 14% on profit.
The group's business model continues to be validated by rating agencies and recognitions locally, regionally, and globally.
The market seems to have given our strategy a little big vote. The bank has now hit a market cap of 200 billion Kenya shillings, nearly 50 billion shillings, bigger than the second largest bank in the country.
Going forward, Dr. Mwangi expects the operating environment to improve.
We are starting 2018 very confident and very bullish that what held us back in 2017 is behind us.
Welcome back. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business, where our goal is to see you succeed.
Being a beneficiary of the Somo project, what lessons did you acquire when it comes to marketing strategies?
They have opened my eyes into using social media, which is, I think, a big deal for anybody who's in business, because there you can find thousands and thousands of people. And so, yeah, I use a lot of social media. I use WhatsApp, I use Facebook, and also through the Somo project website.
What is so different about your yogurt? Because I mean, there are yogurts all over.
I can tell you for sure, I think it's the best in town. I'm really about healthy eating, and so instead of putting sugar, I even put honey. And I do not put artificial flavors and stuff, because this is something that I take myself and my kids take. So it is not just business. It is about the value that I give to everybody else who gets to enjoy my product. Yes.
How many people are you working with?
Currently, we are a small team, but we are also looking into expansion as we continue to scale up. So I would say we are a team of 4, but not all of us are full-time. So when I'm doing deliveries to schools, of course I need 2 to 3 people, or maybe 3 people, to do the delivery to school, because you're supplying, say, 200, 300 kids yogurt, and so this is not something that you can do alone. And when I also get corporate clients and I have to deliver yogurt or the smoothies that I also make, of course I need a few people to help me run up and down, because sometimes I have clients over in Gong Road, and I also have to be at a school.
You talked about smoothies. Is that
Yes.
another product that you have?
So it is about also value addition and just making sure people eat healthy. And so beyond the yogurt, I'm also making smoothies, which is I blend yogurt and fruits. So this would depend, of course, with the customer needs. So I use, the most available fruits, and I blend yogurt into it, sell it to people.
Yeah. What is your day like?
My day starts early, prepare the 2 girls to school, and then sometimes I have to dash to the market and get my fresh produce, and then I have to start preparing, packaging the yogurts. Depending if I'm supplying to school, then my team has to be around to also help me package in bottles. And then if I have to do deliveries to offices, then make the fruits and the smoothies and the yogurts. So it's a full-time job.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So one, besides Yo-Toto just being, my business, it has a social aspect, and which is my biggest inspiration. And in, say, 7 years, I want to see Yo-Toto being taken by all kids, especially, I would say, in the informal slums in Nairobi and hopefully around Kenya. And this is because, with all due respect, it's not adequate enough to provide for the adequate nutritional needs of these kids. Remember, these are young kids who are growing rapidly and need like a balanced diet to be able to achieve this. And so I want my yogurt to be part of their meals to sort of just make it a balanced diet. And so I want to see myself in all those schools. Yeah. And so even right now, in as much as I'm still small, I'm making sure every shilling I get from the business, I put something aside to make sure that a needy child in an informal school is able to enjoy the yogurt. And so that is one of the things that I'm dealing with. And besides that, I'm also in the phase of scaling up. And my next level is to figure out how I'm able to penetrate the bigger, I would say, corporate clients, to be present at their breakfast table when they're having their brainstorming meetings and they're discussing the affairs of the month, of the week, and they're enjoying my yogurt and my fruit cups. I'm very present on Facebook. You can find me on Yo-Toto Yogurt on Facebook. Through Somo project, we have the pop-up shop online. You can order Yo-Toto from there and it will be delivered to your office. My physical location, I'm based in Kibera.
What advice would you give people who want to come into business?
Well, I think I would say, if you truly believe in something or a business idea, you know yourself best and listen to yourself, and you follow your dream. You know it better, you can execute it better. Success does not come overnight. It takes a lot of dedication and patience.
Thank you for your story. It's very, very inspiring that you took your passion and turned it into a business that is not only helping you and your family, it's actually helping the whole community.
Yeah.
And we thank Somo Project that actually helped you scale up your business.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. Next, we speak to Amelia Phillips, the co-founder of Somo Projects. Don't go away.
Welcome back. You're watching Road to Success. This week, we are honored to speak
To Amelia Phillips of Somo Project. Karibu sana.
Thank you for having me. Asante sana.
Before the break, we were talking to Lillian of Yo-Toto Yogurt, and she's one
One of the beneficiaries of Somo Project. Tell us about Somo Project.
So Somo is an incubator here in Nairobi that works with impact entrepreneurs that are coming from low-income areas around the city. And what we do is we take those entrepreneurs through an incubation process that starts with a training program, and then once they graduate that, they can apply into receiving funding from us. And alongside that funding, we also give advising help, and we give them a space to work out of.
How do you identify the entrepreneurs?
So we right now work in 5 different neighborhoods around Nairobi, and we have ambassadors in each of those areas who run their own CBOs that are community leaders in those areas, just know a lot of people, and they tell the community about it. And then as well, we use social media, our website, we have an online application that people can apply to.
What is the criteria?
So a long process, but our basic criteria is we want to find passionate, driven entrepreneurs that are from low-income areas and have the motivation and drive to start businesses that will bring positive change to those areas. And we look at, is it a revenue-generating model that can be sustainable long-term? Is it potentially scalable? and does it have a social impact component? So Lillian and I actually met personally before she applied to our program. She was part of our second cohort right after our pilot, and I was walking through the neighborhood of in Olympic, which is in Kibera, where we piloted our program, and she yelled out of a window to me to come in to a new building that was starting, a new project that was starting, and just introduced herself and with all the confidence in the world. And so we started talking. She was telling me about the project she was working on at the time. I was telling her about what Somo was doing and the pilot we had just run, and that we were now trying to really scale up the program. And she was like, well, I want to be part of your program. I have a business. I have a yogurt business that I want to be an entrepreneur long term. I don't want to be working for someone else. And so I met just that way. And yeah, Lillian has so much passion and is so driven. And I think that's what ultimately makes an amazing entrepreneur, is just that drive to be able to do it at all costs. And yeah, just keep pushing when it's hard, because it's hard being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Tell me, how many people have been through that project?
So right now we have graduated 50 entrepreneurs from our entrepreneurship boot camp, which is our training program they go into first. And we have another 10 that will be graduating in May. And then from those 50 entrepreneurs, we've invested in 22 of those businesses and are working with those through long-term partnership, really helping them get to a place that they can scale their businesses. So right now our physical spaces are in Kibera and in Korgocha, which is in Eastlands area. As well as those two areas, though, we have entrepreneurs that are from Karangwari, Mathari, and Githurai. But we've received applications from over 10 different communities in Nairobi, and we have trainees right now in our current training program from a few different other communities.
For anybody
Who wants to work with you or be part of the Somo project, they require?
So our major criteria first is we want to invest in individuals from these low-income communities who have ideas of how to bring positive change to their own communities. So we are not looking for people that are from outside these communities that want to come in and implement a program. We don't see those as being sustainable long-term. They've been tried many times and haven't worked in most cases. So we're investing directly into these low-income communities that we work in. So that's our first criteria and our major one. So our exact definition depends on, it would depend. We go to each area. When we get a new applicant from a new area, we'll go there. So with impact, we look at it on two sides. So we look at the product or service that you are providing your community with. And then on the other side, we look at the potential for employment. So if you are employing, if you have the potential to employ a lot of people, and if your goal is to employ a group of people that have often been left out of employment opportunities. So we have a bunch of entrepreneurs that are focused on that are focused on employing, for example, single mothers in these areas. So two of our entrepreneurs that are based in Mathari, one of them is a peanut butter business run by a woman named Rose. It's called Bounty Nut. And the other one is a candle business run by a woman named Josephine that is called Mwangaza Candles. And they're both focused on that. They're both focused on finding single mothers to employ with their business. And then on the other side of it, looking at what is the social impact on the individual that is buying your product or service. So for instance, we work with a briquette making a business that makes briquettes out of sugar bagasse and waste paper. Called Potter's Briquettes, and that business is providing a product at an affordable price that is beneficial to people's health because it doesn't have the same harmful effects on breathing as charcoal does, but it's still affordable for your average family living in Kibera. And then as well, we work with training institutes like a journalism training school and a programming school that work with youth to train them in skills and then set them up with employment.
Thank you for being on this show.
Thank you for watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. Do have a blessed week.
Road to Success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.